Hello everyone, and welcome to GameOverJesse's channel, where we are going to do the Zelda Mailbag. That's what it's called, right? The Zelda Mailbag. And
that thing.
I am Chublima, your co-host, and I'm joined here by Daniel, I don't know which side he's on, and GameOverJesse, who is the host, who is holding up a GameCube now.
Yes, we're just holding things up. We're just holding things up.
Okay. Alright, so don't forget that to make sure that your question is answered guaranteed, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to, what is the website, Daniel?
Patreon.com/GameOverJesse.
Oh,
that one.
Yeah, that one!
Go become a patron on Patreon.
Yeah, good job! And yeah, so I'm gonna get Jesse to answer the first question, because I don't...
I don't know. I'm just
How am I supposed to do the intro when you guys are doing this?
You can't.
I'm so sorry that you guys are even a fan of us. I'm so sorry. Stop hurting him!
Poor Goku.
I didn't know his hands came off too.
Oh.
You know what? I'm just gonna ask the first question because I don't know what's wrong.
Okay. Yes. First question. Have you, man? Goku's shredded.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Maya in the chat said, "Holding up things, but you can't hold up my self-esteem," and I.
Aww.
Oh, Maya made us really cool fan art.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
I loved it. I loved it.
Shout out to her.
Well, yes,
We're
thank
finally
you, Matt. I will
someone
have to tweet it later. I've been busy.
Successfully made me adorable in some sense.
Is this the new
I'm like
game?
super...
What is Jesse doing?
So,
I'm like super brown in the drawing, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I need to be a little bit darker.
you gotta
get that tan.
We got $2. Not just Jesse.
Thank you,
you all are
Tazzer.
cool.
We're all cool. I'm sorry you're so mistaken, but thank you for the donation. The truth is, none of us are cool.
No. No.
But we love you. Thank you, Mr. Taser.
Thank you.
83.
Thank you so much.
84.
Oh, I said Tazzer. It's probably Taser.
Tazzer, we are on the Zelda Mailbag and you donated, so if you have a question,
Yeah.
Ask us questions.
finger guns.
We will. Oh, that bumped my microphone with my rest of finger
Choose.
guns.
You
Can
had
I ask
question.
a question
Yes,
yet?
you can.
I do.
Do it.
So, Zinfadel Glitter asks, I'm gonna say, who's the best girl for you in Zelda? Ship-wise, or just good writing kind of thing? Which, you guys all know, my favorite girl is Midna. Midna is an amazing character.
Midna is best girl.
Midna is
Best
good.
girl.
Yes. Tell us more.
You guys are totally excluding Mifa, but that's totally cool, but...
You know what? I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I'm not really into Mifa. I don't think she's a very well-written character, and she's very flat.
It's because you're not into fish girls.
Okay, that's probably it.
He said, that's horrible.
No, I just think she's a very two-dimensional character compared to the other characters. The other, you know.
At first when you said she's very flat, I thought you were discriminating against Mifa's flat chest.
No,
because Midna is very blessed.
Because I need more booty. No, but no. I just think she's just not that interesting a character. You know who's cool and kicks butt? Urbosa. I love Urbosa. I don't know what it is. She's just
Here's a very classic example of Daniel discriminating against flat characters and non-flat characters. Mifa, Urbosa.
What I'm saying is that Urbosa has some depth to her character. I mean, not just because she's shredded, but also because she has character. She has personality. And Mifa has like no personality. Her personality is like, I'm in love with Link, but he doesn't love me back, so I'm kind of sad about it most of the time, but I'm also like just gonna be loyal still anyways. And that was it. That's all they got. Which is okay, that's not a bad thing in itself, but I just feel like it's the least interesting character in the whole game. And then people love her, and I'm like, why? Sidon is here.
We can have Zelda.
Excuse
I
me?
don't understand. Who would put the crown on to make Zelda? Ganon?
No, I think Zelda would.
Yeah, right? Is that how
But
it
when
works?
What does she turn into after?
Okay.
The
Just-
entire
just-
idea between that is a dude puts the crown on and they turn into a female.
Yes.
Oh.
Or a non-human character puts the crown on and turns into an overly sexualized
Yeah, so technically,
Weird
Link, if he put on the
13-year-old
crown, he would
boy's
turn into
fantasy.
Linkle.
I want that.
Link cat.
We can
Link
play
cat.
as Linkle. That's how we get Linkle in a game.
Okay, so in the chat, Rabbit23GSO says, she died, Daniel. I know. Okay.
To be fair,
I
they all
know.
died.
So did Urbosa, though.
Sidon is best waifu. I think this the title of this video will be "Who is best Zelda waifu?"
Okay. Yeah, but
We're pronouncing it wrong. It's waifu.
Waifu,
Like
waifu.
your waifu, like wafer cookie. Yes, can I have one of those waifus? Like crunchy waifu in every bite of Kit Kat.
All right. Next
Oh.
question. Yeah.
Oh, what? You didn't answer, Jesse.
I did. I said Mifa. Yeah. No, not
You
Mifa.
said
God,
Mifa?
no,
No.
no. Wait.
I just said not Mifa.
Midna. Yeah.
Kayla said Midna.
Okay.
Yeah, that's mine.
Okay.
Because
You're agreeing on Midna.
Midna, I want Twilight Princess 2. Love for Midna.
Yes. Very good.
All right. Good
Hi,
answer.
Daniel.
Also, I
Ten
really
out of
like Tetra as a character. She's
Oh.
bomb. I'm just saying.
Uh,
She's not. I don't know if I ship it, but Tetra's a bomb character. She's tough.
Rabbit
she's
says
feisty.
we're all amazing.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, with Tetra. Tetra is
I'm gonna get disowned
Zelda.
by. I'm gonna get disowned by Axel. He's never gonna talk to me again because I've just said because Axel's not really a fan of Wind Waker and the dude loves Mifa. So if Axel ever watches this, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm really sorry.
You're also forgetting our main man, Rivali. He'd be upset that you don't like Mifa either, even though he hasn't played the game.
Oh, Sean Chiplock.
He's probably
I was
probably
why would-
played the game. by
Rivali
now.
is a very self-absorbed character. Why? No, now I understand. I was like really lost for a second. I was like,
Oh,
Kayla, this
my
isn't
gosh.
real. It's fiction, you know. Yes. So next question. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, Agatha
Whoever has
is
one.
nice.
Agatha actually gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh,
I find her incredibly creepy.
in Twilight Princess or Hyrule Warriors?
in Twilight Princess. Okay, here's a weird thing. In Twilight Princess, if you've got a bug and let's say you trade it to her, she gives you money, right?
Yeah, it's like
And-
Stritch, or right?
Yeah. Now, if you say your wallet's full and you're like, I'm gonna spend some money and then come back later and fill up rupees, you start to walk out the door, she'll stop you and just say creepy, I know you have more bugs before you walk out the door, and it's terrifying. It's just terrifying. Also, my Discord. I hope you guys can see me okay because my Discord kind
I
of
can
stopped
see you.
working.
Yeah,
okay,
we
good.
see you.
I can't see you guys.
Maya
So,
says,
fun
could you say
fact, I just
Agatha bugs you?
This is my Discord right now, guys. It's a blank. It's a blank screen.
You don't need to see it anyways. It's fine.
Oh well.
So I actually
YOLO.
did a quick Google image search of Agatha, and the first thing I saw was Linkle and Agatha kissing.
Perfect.
Thanks, Amino.
I found some pretty raunchy stuff trying to just look for normal Zelda related things, and I've had regrets about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's time to turn on safe search. So who's choosing
What was our
the
next question?
Yes. Okay, Muted Mike asks, why'd you not check Twitch?
Yeah, Jesse, how come you hate Twitch so much? You
check
never change it.
Twitch.
Every time, whenever we start streaming, it's like, oh, Fortnite with subs.
That's not really the question I was gonna pick though. But
I'm sorry. I literally went to Twitch earlier. I have it up, but I was just off the tab. Alright, he says, is it just me, or is Daniel lagging a lot camera-wise? Daniel can read, add, never mind going to YouTube. W1M.
Huh?
I don't know, it's just what this is what he said on Twitch. So we read the Twitch chat.
Am I lagging?
There are 3 people who hate me that were watching on Twitch.
Oh, sorry guys.
Me, whenever I restream to YouTube, though, and Twitch is like, why does Kayla hate us? And I have like 14 people, and they're just starting a riot.
Everyone's saying spork knife. Okay, Daniel, question, right?
Okay, Mr. Whale asks, in your opinions, which game is better, A Link to the Past or Minish Cap? I briefly mentioned this before we actually started streaming while curating our questions. But for me, it's A Link to the Past, no context. No contest. Not no context. I can't speak. No contest is A Link to the Past. That could very partially be for nostalgia reasons, because I love the heck out of A Link to the Past. But it's got more dungeons, it's got more overworld, it's got more items, it's got more of that Triforce thing and Ganon in it. It feels like a more complete game to me. I didn't have Kinstones, which is also a plus. So, yeah, I just feel like and this is no bash to Minish Cap. I like it, but I don't feel like it's the superior game. That's me. What do you guys think?
I think you're completely right.
Good. Now I can leave.
Yeah. So I said this before we began. Minish Cap is, although technically, like graphic-wise, because it's a 32-bit game, not a 16-bit game, graphically, it's better. But there are people that like the 16-bit style more. But anyways, Minish Cap is made like a 2D Zelda game made to be played as a handheld game. So it's a lot shorter than a traditional home console game, which A Link to the Past, although 2D, was made to be a home console game. That is why Minish Cap is a lot shorter of a game than A Link to the Past. So my vote is A Link to the Past, because there's a lot more cooler side quests and there's no Kinstones. So in your face.
My answer for that. Wait.
I also hate the dungeon where you have to do the minecart stuff.
Oh, really? I thought that was one of the more creative parts.
I've played the beginning of Minish Cap like 50 times, and getting up that mountain and then doing that dungeon's really...
That's how I feel with the beginning of Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword.
Yep.
Because I've replayed the beginning so many times.
You don't like
the time it takes you to get to the first dungeon in Twilight Princess on a normal, leisurely, non-speedrun playthrough,
and Skyward Sword too,
is over 3 hours.
You have to play hide and seek with all of the Kikwis.
It is ridiculous. So,
yeah.
Yes.
I like Kinstones.
You're wrong.
I'm sorry, Scorch.
My answer to that question is that I haven't played Minish Cap, so I'm picking Link to the Past. That was the game, right?
You haven't played Minish Cap? Have you played any of the Capcom Zelda games? You've never played a Capcom Zelda game?
I've only played the 3D Zelda games.
Did you play the Game Boy Advanced version of A Link to the Past?
I didn't have a Game Boy Advance.
Maya seems shocked when I said over 3 hours, but yeah, you gotta. Twilight Princess, you gotta do the farming stuff. You gotta watch some cutscenes, and you gotta pull them through Twilight, and you gotta collect some bugs, and then you gotta get out of there, and then find your way to the Forest Temple, and then from like starting point to when you enter Forest Temple, that's like more than 3 hours. I am not even joking. I timed it once. Jesse, Jesse is back. He's just invisible. Okay, he's invisible. It's okay. It's all right, everybody.
He got really upset because I haven't played Minish Cap. So I'm gonna start. I guess I'm gonna start streaming all of the Zelda games. So
hey, wait,
for that.
That's what I'm doing. You copycat. Jeez.
Sorry.
Also, I just want to say, guys, that we don't think Minish Cap's a bad game. Just A Link to the Past does a lot of things better. That's.
Well, Link to the Past
I did enjoy
it's
Minish
an amazing game. It's really good. Like, the soundtrack is bumping.
It's bumping.
The little dungeons are bumping.
They're bumping.
It's the entirety of that game.
Also,
welcome back,
there's one thing with Minish Cap that I feel like falls short for me, and that's like kind of a wasted potential. Winking Jesse. Oh yeah, my Discord's back, by the way. I can see things again. Yay! When you shrink down, I want that to be like the alternate world in A Link to the in Minish Cap. So A Link to the Past is like the Dark World, Ocarina of Time. You travel back and forth 7 years. There's, I guess, the Twilight Realm. I don't know, but a lot of games have like an alternate world, right? In Minish Cap, it would be so cool if all the areas of the game were explorable as tiny, tiny Link, but it's only really used in very circumstantial places. Like it's almost very scripted. And then there are times in the overworld where you do shrink down, you just walk around and it's just the same, but you're tiny and you can't attack the enemies. And it seems a little, I don't know, like a wasted potential. Like they have a really good idea and they didn't put it to good use as much as they could have. Probably limited by the hardware, but still.
Jesse wanting to interrupt, but being like...
sorry, Jesse.
No,
what were you gonna say?
It got me excited, but I didn't want to be rude to interrupt you. So like every time you like broke sentences, I thought you were about to stop, but then you had another one, so I was like,
I have too many sentences.
No, so Breath of the Wild, we know originally was supposed to have a Minish village, Minish-like village. As large as Breath of the Wild was, what if you shrunk down to the size of a Minish so that Breath of the Wild was literally 100 times bigger?
It's fine. The Guardians are already terrifying enough as it is.
Oh
yeah,
my.
but what if you could climb inside a Guardian? And there's Armos statue enemies in Minish Cap, and you can defeat them by climbing inside them when you shrink down.
Yeah.
So just imagine climbing inside a Guardian, and it's like looking around for you, and it's all scary piano music, and you just go inside it and like pull the plug or something, and
turn the volume.
Just like you take that little like core, like the little ball thing, like you pull the core out.
Oh, you just like put it in your pocket. And
you just pocket it.
No, so you find out that the reason you hear that techno music is because inside all of the Guardians are speakers that just play that song on repeat.
Oh, I was gonna say there's a little tiny guy inside. He's like playing the piano. There's a Sheikah monk inside. He's sitting cross-legged with the tiny piano, and he's like. Fantastic, 10 out of 10 game.
Next question, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's your turn, Jesse. We're freaking out the chat.
Minish Breath of the Wild. Yes, it would be fair.
To be fair, I haven't seen these two goofs since Daniel poisoned me, so...
Oops.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so this one is an easy one.
We told everyone you drowned in cheese pizza, just so you know, so we gotta get our story straight.
From Maya, who was on the last podcast, asks, I picked this one because I don't think it'll get us on a tangent. And there's already people talking about music in the chat, so it goes along with it. What Zelda game has the best soundtrack? Scorch in the chat says, Guru plays the Guardian music. Confirmed. So he's just inside each of the Guardians.
I love it. This is a difficult question. I'm gonna say A Link Between Worlds. It's got A Link to the Past's awesome soundtrack, but reorchestrated, and it's large and epic, and it's really good. I love it. That's probably my favorite, but a lot of it is nostalgia fueled, so I don't know if it's a unbiased answer because it's a lot of it is those, like the Dark World theme or the classic Legend of Zelda theme that I grew up playing with A Link to the Past, but instead of being 16-bit, it's got a proper band playing it. So, but actually, no, that's just for good songs. Like someone in the chat mentioned Majora's Mask, and Majora's Mask has a very thematic soundtrack that is really good. Not like, oh, I could listen to this on repeat and I love it, good, but like ties into the world really well.
Yeah.
And it's really thematic. There's a lot of themes that are, I don't know, just that it just runs really well, and it's a very down soundtrack a lot of the times. Even there's a YouTube channel called 8-Bit Music Theory, and they did a rundown of like all the different Zelda themes, and he mentions how in Majora's Mask, it's like the classic Hyrule Field theme, but like there's parts of it that are the same but played in minor key instead. So even though, and then the way that the drum beat is, it has like sort of militant sound to it. So it makes this classic theme that everyone knows have kind of this dark undertone to it. Even though it sounds like it's a uplifting theme, it's got this layer underneath it that's really good and really not really good from like the audience sense, but really dark and like intense, but as like an undertone. So it's very like it's not a prompt, you have to listen for it, and it's good. I'm just gushing, but I can't put proper sentences together.
No, it makes sense though. So with Majora's Mask, it's hard for me to say that has the best, because like 3/4 of the music is just left over from Ocarina of Time. Like you have the Song of Storms, you have the Song of Time, you have all of these things that are just carried over. But the songs that, like Clocktown, which is original to Majora's Mask, is very good. Stone Tower Temple is amazing.
I actually think a lot of the like the songs that you play as Link are carried over, but a lot of the actual soundtrack is new, other than like the house theme, you know, and shop theme, you know, like those ones. But I think like there's Termina Field theme is not an Ocarina of Time, Clocktown theme is not, and then all the different area themes, like you know, like the Southern Swamps theme, which is, they're all remixes of each other, but those are again original, and all the dungeons have original music too. Even the battle music is actually a new theme. It's different than Ocarina of Time, so similar but different. But
so
the point is, I don't agree with you, Jesse.
All right, my favorite is my favorite song, period, is from Skyward Sword, when Link and Zelda are meeting during that first cutscene.
Ooh.
I think
Skyward Sword's good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the Ballad of the Goddess or
if
it's just the Skyward Sword theme.
But wait, when they first meet in the sky, though,
no, when they're like hanging out, and then
I'm pretty sure it's the Ballad of the Goddess, but nobody's singing.
Yeah, Kaebora comes up and he's like, "Hey," because he's speaking gibberish.
It's it's a track. It's just called Romance.
Oh.
And it's a track that's separate from the Ballad of the Goddess.
So Romance.
And it's just called Romance. If I'm recalling correctly. I might be wrong on this.
Nintendo's are already shipping them.
Yeah, Nintendo's shipping them for us.
What's his name? Kaebora? Because he's named after the bird.
Gabora.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly. I don't know what this means, guys, but I squeezed my note. But
the song that I like, that would be my favorite song. But I also really like the Skyloft theme. But then like Twilight Princess, Ordon Village is really amazing. I think Nintendo put a lot more focus on the songs in the beginning areas than they do the other areas, because that's your first introduction to the game. Like you spend a lot of time in Skyloft, you spend a lot of time in Ordon Village before you ever get anywhere, and even Kokiri Forest, Clocktown, like the beginning areas tend to be a lot better than others. Spirit Tracks has like a very unique soundtrack that I love.
I like Spirit Tracks soundtrack too. Yes.
Yeah, but I never like think of Spirit Tracks when I'm thinking of good Zelda music, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the 25th anniversary soundtrack disc that came with Skyward Sword? There's like a medley in it, and part of that medley is the overworld theme from Spirit Tracks, but it's orchestrated.
Yeah.
And it sounds amazing. Like, it's so... The Spirit Tracks' soundtrack is so good, but it's so held back by the really bad DS speakers. Like, the DS just can't put out the sound quality that that soundtrack deserves. Phantom Hourglass has no soundtrack. It's really bland. So I'm just saying.
This is like a really hard question because I really like the Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, it's like there are like certain songs from each game that I like the most. So like, one of my favorites is the boss music for Ganon's first form in Twilight Princess when you're fighting him and he's like the beast.
Yeah.
But for me, like, that soundtrack is just hilarious. That soundtrack is a meme in my friend group.
Oh. No, it's a really good, like, very high fantasy epic soundtrack in Twilight Princess. It's very...
Yeah. I'd have to pick Skyward Sword, definitely, though, because I feel like that's the one, like, when I first started playing Skyward Sword, it stood out to me compared to every other Zelda game I've played. That was the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh my gosh, this soundtrack.
It's that orchestration. It makes such a big difference. It's fantastic. This is a hard question, and that's a huge testament to how good this series music has been. Also, I guess I would be remiss if I didn't mention Breath of the Wild, which a lot of people are like, it doesn't really have a soundtrack. There's a lot of ambience, but there are, whenever a song does come up, it's like 10 out of 10.
It's good.
It's like 10. Also, just check out the Akala Ancient Tech Lab music, and you're like suddenly in Techno Town, and you're like, what's happening? It's cool.
You're bumping. But even then, I love the ambience that they had.
It's like, very fitting for the world, and considering how much time you spend in, like, imagine if Twilight Princess's overworld theme, imagine that, but on Breath of the Wild's overworld, okay? How many hours do you spend listening to that song before you hate it? Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think like the way that they did it was really well done, because they could have done literally anything else and we would have went crazy. It'd be like me watching you play Zelda 1. Oh yeah, the game that has like 3 songs in it. Yeah. Oh, you didn't even finishing that stream up, playing through the last dungeon, trying to find my way to Ganon. I was like knocking my head on the table. I was like getting so lost in that dungeon, and that dungeon theme is thankfully not. That's the one dungeon that has a different theme song than the other ones, but it's still pretty annoying after a while. I was like ready to drown myself until Gus in the chat was like, "Did you try bombing that one wall?" I was like, I think I did. I was like bombing every wall in that dungeon, trying to find my way through it, and then the one I didn't bomb was the right one. So Gus saved my arse. But
thank you, Gus.
All right, so final 3 questions, guys.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we're doing 3 more?
Yeah, we're going to try to get through them really quick, though. Like, I picked the last question because I thought it would be quick. Because it's just like, what's your favorite Zelda soundtrack? You just name a game. But no, we got lost on a tangent. Choose.
Sorry. Sorry, Jesse.
For the Zelda Mailbag, Chaplima, what question do you pick?
Sorry, I'm making faces, but I'm looking at the questions.
What's the question? You have something hanging out of your nose.
It's my piercing.
Do you have something hanging out of your hair? It looks like a microphone. DJ Danny D88 asks,
hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like. And comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.